Psalm 94 takes a drastic turn from Psalm 93. Remember, in Psalm 93, the writer reflects upon God's mightiness. And then immediately as Psalm 94 begins, God is depicted as one who doesn't seem to be in control. And it raises the question, why? If God is so great, how long, Lord, says the psalm writer, will the wicked, how long will the wicked be jubilant? Such a question is one of several questions that the writer asks. You can see here that I've highlighted in red the questions that the writer asks the Lord, as well as the questions that he asks those who oppose the Lord. After asking the Lord a question and then asking the wicked several questions, toward the end of the psalm here, you can see again that the writer, the speaker, asks the Lord another question. And so these three questions point to perhaps a large question that many of us have wrestled with, that non-believers wrestle with, and that those who claim even to be atheists wrestle with. And that's, if God is such a good God, why does he allow such evil to continue? And it's a legitimate question. You can see here as the writer expresses it. He's talking about the wicked who oppose the Lord. They say, the Lord does not see, the God of Jacob takes no notice. So in this writer's reflection, he realizes that those who stand against the Lord, it's not so much that they do not believe in him, but that they do not see that they are accountable to him, that God doesn't care. And so there is an interesting mix here of what's going on at the present and also a reflection upon the past. And you can see that the writer reflects upon a situation, whether that is the immediate situation or something that has occurred in the recent past. He reflects upon when he called out to the Lord, and the Lord's unfailing love did respond. He says that your love did come to my rescue. We as Christians in this country do not experience such direct persecution, at least physically. I read an article today in Christianity Today magazine that talks about the Pakistani Christians and how the country of Pakistan, the persecution against Christians, are in the top 5 as far as the opposition that they face. The article says statements like these: present day Christians in Pakistan are a struggling community. Many are forced to engage in jobs that are considered menial and thus experience rejection and alienation. Christians are even called by rather insulting terms. It also says that many Pakistanis look at Christians as people who are born to do messy jobs. Even at the government level, sweeping and latrine cleaning jobs are often advertised in such a way as to clearly indicate that only Christians can apply. This is open discrimination. The article also says the Christian sweepers throughout the country put their lives at risk in order to keep the sewage lines clean and running. On one occasion, a doctor refused to touch an unconscious Christian sewage cleaner named Irfan Masih because the doctor was fasting and believed that touching the dirty body would break his fast. Pakistani Christians have been particularly targeted since the 1980s under the Pakistan's penal code concerning blasphemy. And we wonder in this country over such trivial matters. Sometimes as Christians, we complain to God. We ask God, why do you not love me? This psalm deals with some very difficult questions, some very honest questions. And I hope that it challenges us, stirs us to wrestle with them ourselves, because even though God is great and mighty, as Psalm 93 and many of the Psalms declare, we live in this tension in which we see so much disregard towards good, towards God's principles, towards the morality that he has established all people should live by, towards love itself. I think of a couple of passages in First Peter, as you can see here, as Peter talks about those who persecute and come against Christians. He notes how they blaspheme in matters they do not understand. Psalm 94 is echoed in such a passage. And then I'm reminded in 1 Peter 5:7, based on the example of Jesus, both letters of 1 Peter call us to Jesus' example, his suffering, his patience, his diligence, his prayer. And in 1 Peter 5:7, Peter challenges all of us Christians to be humble, to realize that God opposes the proud and shows favor to the humble. He tells us and encourages us with this: humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Indeed, Psalm 94 points to that direction. I hope that it points you as it challenges me to recognize that we can come to God and wrestle with such questions, realizing that he is in control. He does, in fact, care, even if the circumstances do not seem like he does.